Hello, dear sisters. For those of you who are new, my name is Catalina Rivera Dois. Amongst many things, I am a feminine mysteries mentor, and I hold the gates for our Blood Mysteries Temple. And today I wanted to open up our conversation to explore irregularities within our menstrual cycle, because I know many of you have experienced this at least once in your lifetime, and it does seem to be on the rise lately, right? And it can produce a lot of anxiety. So let us shed some light from this lensing of feminine wisdom and the blood mysteries. Okay, so the first thing to be really mindful and aware of is that even though many of us carry a belief that our menstruation needs to be this very regular robotic event, that's simply not true. Every woman throughout her life will experience at least one change within that cycle. Just like in nature that we have 4 seasons, there are natural variations from year to year. There are going to be times where our winters are longer, or spring is shorter, and temperatures change. Like the same thing happens with our body. Our body is not a robot. Right? And that's actually a good thing. These variations is actually pointing toward the truth that there is a natural intelligence going on. Our body is not a dead robot. There is an intelligent system that is working with you, and it's sensitive, right? And it is responding to you and what's going on within you and your experience, and it's responding to the environment. Right? And we've all experienced or heard someone that's experienced a change in their cycle because they've moved house, or they've changed jobs, or they've been under an inordinate amount of stress, physical illness, extreme physical exercise, right? Our bodies naturally react to big changes, and our cycle reacts with it, right? Be it emotional changes, and psychological changes, or physical external changes. There is a natural variance that happens within our cycle, and that's a good thing, right? It shows that in natural intelligence and sensitivity. So first of all, if you've experienced things, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It's exactly what's supposed to happen, right? This is a natural response for there to be change. Nothing in nature is fixed. Yes, there are kind of organizing principles, right? But nothing is fixed. Fixation, anything that is fixed, is stagnant, right? So if this is happening to you, you want to look toward what's going on in my life, right? What's going on around me? And of course, this is happening more now. Like, look at the year we've lived, right? So many of us have had to make some profound changes in how we live. Right? And many of you have been, exposed and rung through, intense initiations on many, many different levels. So there is naturally going to be a response from our body to all that change, all that shifting, and to stress. Okay. So the invitation here is to step away from looking at these changes as something that is wrong, needing to be fixed, right? And to entering into a dialogue with the body to understand, oh, you're responding to something, right? And what is the message? And the beautiful thing about the wisdom of the body is that with the symptom, right, or with what's being presented, in that is also held the medicine that is going to help us bring us into alignment. Okay. And this also brings me to another point that I really wanted to talk about, which is a lot of women, I see this when I share the blood mysteries more deeply, right? Start to see these shifts very pronounced when they start connecting back into their womb, when they start doing womb work, when they start tracking their cycles. All of a sudden, what has seemed to be this kind of very robotic, clear rhythm, all of a sudden shifts, right? So this is now actually this is not only happening to you. This is what you're experiencing. It happens to many women that step into deeper communion with their womb and with their feminine wisdom. And it is simply because all of a sudden this aspect of self that has usually been ignored, right? Treated as, again, something robotic, unintelligent, that has been tried to be kind of hidden, or it's not taken a kind of very important part in your life, right? All of a sudden, there's a tension there, right? And this place that has been silenced has the possibility to actually communicate all that it's experienced, for many, many years, all the wisdom it holds for many, many years, and all the medicine it's been dying to share with you for many, many, many years, right? So all of a sudden, this place that has kind of been shut down and ignored has a voice, has the possibility to enter the game in this co-creative dance. So yeah, she's going to express herself, right? And here, what's really fun to look at is that usually she hunkers in terms of our cycle, in the aspect of our cycle that we need the most to bring ourselves into deeper alignment. So again, the bottom line here is, after you've checked off your medical boxes, which again, as a nurse midwife, I can say, it's a fraction of the cases where there's actually something medically justifying that change. 90-some% of the time you go to the doctor, you run all the tests, and there's absolutely nothing physically there to justify why, this is happening, right? But once you've checked all those things off, and you really sink into your body, it's coming back to that truth that you can trust your body. This has been one of the deepest wounds of the patriarchy, this place where we have been systematically told, right, that our body is something to be dissociated from, to not be trusted, to be handed over to an obstetrician or a gynecologist or a doctor or someone else who has supposedly more expertise over our own body than we do, that we can't trust the natural variances and feelings and sensations that happen, that anything that arises that isn't calm and sweet and pretty needs to be immediately silenced, fixed, manipulated, changed, given hormones. Again, many different ways of doing that, right? So it's the invitation happening at a mass scale here is, can you right here, right now, trust your body where it is? And instead of trying to stay in that place, which has been kind of the monotonous message of that we've received as women, that something's wrong with you and you need to be fixed or changed, prettied up, silenced, etc. What if you can leave all that behind and just say, I can trust my body? What if, even just exploring that possibility, what if I can trust my body, right? What if I can trust my body right where it is? What if, instead of trying to change anything, I can just be with her where she is, and be with my cycle where she is, and begin to actually listen to hear the message that she is giving me, the medicine that's coming forth. Okay. And of course, whatever part of the cycle she's at, right? Be it that you are bleeding longer than normal, or bleeding more heavily, right? Or that your period is simply not arriving and you're having these longer stretches of time between one menstruation and the other, right? You are remaining longer in a specific phase so that you may sink your teeth into the wisdom, medicine, and frequency of that phase to bring you into deeper alignment. So the question now is to listen. The invitation is to listen. And the question is, what of this phase, of this frequency, am I being asked to step more deeply into, right? So there it is, sister, in a nutshell, two concepts, two or more, is your menstrual cycle naturally changes, okay? It's supposed to. It is a sensitive, intelligent system that's reacting to you and the environment. It's a good thing, right? Any changes are bringing with you a much needed message of where you're being asked to listen, to come into deeper alignment with. And whatever it is you're experiencing holds within it exactly the medicine you need to bring yourself fully into alignment. So it's all really straightforward with the body. That's one of the beautiful things about the body. It's very straightforward. right? I know it's hard to see sometimes, but when you see it, it's like, oh my goodness, it's so obvious. It's right there. So there's that. There is, you can trust your body. What if you can enter into trust? What if you can step out of trying to fix, change, manipulate, and out of this idea that something's wrong with you? How does that feel? It feels so liberating, sister. Please join me. Join me in the joy of being able to fully sink into our bodies and recognize the wisdom that is there, right? And that the feminine is not this static, always the same, place, frequency, reality, right? That's why we cycle. Change is literally imprinted within our bodies, right? Let me see if there's anything else that wants to be shared here. Please share it within our page and in the comments. If you need any further support with this, share your reflections. Okay. Oh, another thing that's really fun to notice is, as you know, especially for those of you that have already dipped your toes into the blood mysteries, or anybody that wants to, from this place where that sometimes feels kind of imbalanced at the beginning, right, of this initial shift, right? What usually happens when you bring awareness into your body is that you awaken the natural intelligence there. So more often than not, when you step into the blood mysteries, into the feminine mysteries more deeply, your cycle begins to change more frequently. And not because there's an imbalance, but because the natural intelligence that she holds begins to awaken. So all of a sudden, your moon time is shifting so that your moon time arrives on specific moons or astrological events or even personal events, right? And then she becomes this very beautiful ally in your life. And then you're glad that she's not robotic, because miraculously she arrives and she rearranges to support you in the best possible way, right? Aligning to not only your personal life, but to the moons and to astrological events and the bigger currents that are unfolding all around us, so that you may be most supported to the best possible way. Because ultimately our body is our ally, right? She is mother in form, holding us within this physical experience. And that is what is awakening within us throughout all these changes. All right, loves. So I hope that's helpful. Please comment below. I'd love to hear, what landed within your field, where you are with this, what challenges are coming up for you, what you're actually hearing from your body. Remember that each one of us holds wisdom. So anything that you're experiencing, any aha moments might trigger an aha moment in a sister. So be generous as we remember, the wisdom of being feminine beings on the earth. Love, many blessings, and until I see you next.